In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 2 of 1923, titled Nature's Empty Throne. This episode starts off where episode 1 left off, with the leopard attack on Spencer Dutton. It's a fierce, crazy way to start the episode, and Spencer's just getting attacked left and right. But we see how brave this character is after being through World War I. His fellow huntsmen assist him in a way, but one of them gets killed by the leopard attack. He then goes into the tent and kind of wants the head guy there to apologize and say he's sorry, because the guy knew about 2 leopards, not just the one, and Spencer figured this out. And all the while, he's angry about the fact that he lost a kind of very well-trusted companion who he knew all his life, and they were friends, and you could see that by just introducing them in the very first episode. Now, he loses a trusted man, as if the word spread that the man was under attack on his watch would create a bad reputation kind of way for him. So he makes sure Holland kind of sends the body back to the man's village, and Spencer is all set to lead and head to Nairobi for, going back with the body. Now, meanwhile, Jack Dutton survives the gunshot that happens, but we find out that the horse fell on him and everything that happens, and then Jacob Dutton and his team hear the gunshots, they go to it, and let me tell you, Harrison Ford's character, what Jacob Dutton does is absolutely crazy. He kind of is annoyed with Banner because he's just, grazing his own land, and, Jacob told him, if you come to my land with your sheep, you know what's going to happen. So Jacob kind of hangs him up with a noose around their neck and says, you know what, here, you can do it. And kind of Jacob, in a way, tells his nephew and great-nephew, like, I didn't kill them because I wanted them to figure it out. And Jacob kind of, in a way, tells the history and future of what, how the Duttons are. He's like, there's no animal other than, or no storm, no weather is going to take over this land except man. Man is your only enemy, and you have to be careful of that. He's like, your sons and your sons' sons will, have this land, an aspect of what's going to happen. And it's just, Harrison Ford had a really, really good monologue in this episode. We don't really see much of Harrison Ford's character of Jacob in this, but it's really front and center. Now, not only that, Cara Dutton is still at home at the ranch and waiting for her husband and the rest of the men to come back to the ranch and kind of start prepping for Jack's wedding and everything. It's really interesting, but kind of Cara and I believe Emma kind of talk about Elizabeth and say like how she's naive in certain ways and certain aspects of how Jack and her will be a good match and fit for each other. And we go to the Native American boarding school where Tanoa is really, really thrust into interesting situations in this episode. I do want to say it's probably the most unnerving, unsettling scenes to watch because of what the Native Americans went through back then. Well, you have the boarding school run by the Catholic Covenant, convent for that matter, covenant. They might as well call it a covenant because these nuns are witches and they have taken a brutal turn in a way where one of the Native American girls sweeps dust off the porch. The nuns didn't tell them to do that. And they are, prepared and given food. There's maggots in the food. The nun comes over and is like, what did you say? Why are you speaking in your own language? And then Tanoa just once again starts cold clocking the shit out of the nun. I mean, I absolutely love this character. We know somehow that she is related to Chief Rainwater. It's one of Chief Rainwater's ancestors. So of all this happening to her, they put her in a hot box. She comes out of the hot box, and she's in the bath, and then one of the other nuns is washing her. But, goes down a little bit south. And, what happens then? I was trying to figure out what was happening. I caught it, and I was like, ooh, okay. Wait a second. And then one of the nuns just starts slapping the shit out of Tanoa, and because she's vulnerable, she can't do anything, she can't lift her arms, she can't do it. So the nuns know what they're doing. Now, not only that, Spencer kind of runs into someone in Nairobi by the name of Alexandra, and a rich girl from a prominent British family. She goes to talk to Spencer, and she's intrigued by his past. She knows Spencer because he's now famous for going out there and killing. Spencer Dutton has that Indiana Jones aspect to him, the ghost in the darkness, and you could say that Spencer and Alexandra have like a Rip and Beth character development toward them. but it's back in that day, and it's kind of that romancing the stone feeling that it has to it. That's just my opinion to it. But he must assist local hunters again, and he goes off the next morning, and he does certain things, and Alexandra's just infatuated by him. As he's leaving, she's also leaving, and she grabs her bags and she runs to him as the car is leaving. And, kind of in a fun way, she gets in the car and she wants that exciting adventure to have with Spencer Dutton. I feel like this show is kind of focused on Spencer Dutton a lot, which is really, really good. But the aspect is not about Spencer Dutton, but it's just the focal point of that. Will he go back to the ranch? What will happen? We do know that this series has been picked up for a season 2, and this first season is 10 episodes. There's a lot more episodes coming in this season. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. And kind of what's going to happen with Jack Dutton. Will he become a man slowly, and grow into that person we know as being John Dutton's grandfather? And how will he, do certain aspects of things? The episode is 47 minutes long. It's a really, really quick watch. The writing is great. The dialogue is exceptional. And the kind of back and forth between Spencer and Alexandra was really good. Jacob Dutton, Harrison Ford's character, is prominent in certain episodes, but he's just doing his own thing to protect the ranch and the land, like all Duttons have done. And it's going to be really, really different to see how it progresses on. And this is a great show. It's a fun show. I mean, seeing Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren in a show like this is great. Helen Mirren was only in it for maybe one scene, and that was it. Everything else was focused on Spencer and Jacob and Banner. But then, we still have Timothy Dalton's character coming in. Will he go and try and get help? And will Banner go to him? A lot of questions still need to be answered in this amazing show, and it's only getting started. Episode 2 was great. I'm curious to see how it progresses and what the lineage will be between Spencer, Jacob, Jack, and all the Duttons, and how everything expands into this big, big universe of what the Yellowstone Dutton family is. And it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait. There's a lot of tension in this series, and you can really see that, and it's going to be so much fun to see how everything plays out. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 2 of 1923, titled Nature's Empty Throne. And did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the aspect of Spencer, Alexandra, Jacob, and Jack Dutton? Do you think that this is more focused on Spencer Dutton, or do you think we'll slowly transition into Jack a little bit? Do you see Spencer Dutton going back home to Montana? Or do you think that he'll still be out there doing his hunting and, getting married to Alexandra? Where do you see Banner going from here? And do you think that there is a big prominent villain in this series? If so, who is that? And what do you think about the side story with the Native American boarding school and Tanoa? Do you think that that nun will get what she deserves in the end? Or do you think Tanoa will make her escape with her sister? And what do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for my weekly reviews of 1923 up until the season 1 finale. Thank you all for tuning in.